This tutorial is going to show you how to build a phone list in the Apprentice module using custom reporting. The first thing that we'll always want to do when building a custom report is go ahead and put in the name of the report, and remember that the name must match the layout name in the Trade School custom layout. So I went ahead and put in phone list, and now I'm just going to go ahead and click on the view button at the end of the phone list. And of course that layout doesn't exist, so it's a normal error to say layout is missing. So what I need to do now to complete setting up this report is to go ahead and go up to the view menu, go to layout mode. You can also do that by clicking a button on the right hand side of the screen that says edit layout, and we're going to create a brand new layout. So if you go up to the layout menu, click new report or new layout, make sure that you're showing records from apprentices, and that needs to match apprentices because we're in the apprentice module and we want to show a phone list of all the apprentices. And here's what we need to do. We need to name the layout the exact same name as what we put in the report layout column over here on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put in phone list, select a blank report. We'll be building this from scratch, and now I have a white layout. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit more header here and go ahead and I'm going to set up my default font, which usually you want rather small when you're printing. So I'm going to put this to Arial 10. So now every field that I drag to put on this report will be Arial 10. And let's go ahead and put their name field first. It creates a label automatically. You can change that. I'm going to go ahead and just type the label to name, align it to the left. And then I'm going to set that field up so we've got room for the name to show. And then I'm going to drag my body part because we're going to be viewing this in list form, and when you're viewing in list, the body part will repeat for every record that you're displaying. So we want to drag that up as high as possible. Now notice that I have the field just below the header line, that dotted line. And that's because if you have any object that's touching or is over the header line and is up into the header area, it's going to only show the first item for the first record, and you won't get the repetition in a list all the way down as you would expect. So let's go ahead and exit this layout, save it, and let's look at all of our records by clicking on the record menu and show all records. And we're only seeing one record, the first record in our found set, and that's because we're still viewing this layout in form view. So we'll want to change that to list view, and now we have a list of all of our apprentices' names. So let's go ahead and test this report so far. We have our phone list here, custom reports. We're going to be showing records from apprentices. We don't have to specify apprentices from this list because if it's empty, it's going to automatically show records from the current table context, which is the module apprentices. And we'll go ahead and click view, and there's our custom phone list with everybody's name. Now we're going to go back into editing the layout, and we're going to go ahead and just show what this would be like if we went ahead and just drug over their phone number field. Now there's a couple phone number fields. One is the phone number that's in the actual apprentice table, and what that is, I'm just going to type in main phone, that is the main phone, which is actually a phone number that's in their contact list that was designated as the main phone. So if you just wanted to show the apprentice's main phone number in this list, then you're done. To show you what I'm talking about, we'll go back here to the General tab, click on Personal, and you can see that we have the phone and email and the whole contact list here table on the right. And you can see that this person's phone number here is designated as the main phone, or phone-main. And when you designate a number to be phone main, it will automatically populate that main phone field in the apprentice table. But you're not actually going to the contact table and pulling that over. It's just already in here. Of course, if we change this person's phone number to not be their main phone, but to just phone, we still have the contact information, but if we go back to our custom report, you'll see that that apprentice no longer has a main phone. So that's the quick and easy way to show their main phone numbers, is to go ahead and just put the main phone field from the apprentice table right on there. But oftentimes you want to have all their phone numbers. So if the training director is out and about and he needs to contact apprentices or the committee or maybe interview panelist or somebody needs to take a list with them to make contact, or just to have a printed out sheet sitting beside you, you're going to oftentimes want to see all their contact information. So let's go ahead then and show you how you could actually pull over all the phone numbers that would be available in this related contact table. So how you do that is you're going to use what's called the portal tool. And we're not going to use this main phone. What we're going to do is we're going to show all the contact information. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is the portal tool up at the top right, and I'm going to go ahead and drag a large area, because what you're doing is actually placing a mini table on the report. And it wants to know where you want to show related records from. And if you go ahead and click on the Show Records From menu, you can show any kind of related information on this report, pulling from all these different tables. And of course, we want the apprentices to contacts. What this means is we're going to pull all the contacts for each apprentice based upon a matching record using their user ID. Most of the related information in trade school is based upon that person's user ID. Go ahead and click OK, and then it wants to know, okay, that's what the table is going to show, what fields in that related table. And the fields that we're looking for really is the type, maybe the location, and the contact. And you may not have enough room. You can stretch out this portal. All the fields must be on the first row in the portal for them to show. And let's go ahead and make room for each one of these. I do a lot of dragging by holding down the Shift key to make sure everything stays up nice and aligned. Now, I have in this portal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows available to show. So if they have more than 5 contacts, if they have 6 or more, it will not show. So you'll have to basically make sure this portal is going to show enough if you want. If you want to show more rows, you'd simply drag down your body part, double click that, and specify how many rows maximum. And now if they have less than 7, you'll still have this blank white spot, but I'll show you how you can take care of that. Let's go ahead and browse this, and you can see what the effect is of the portal. So I'm going to save the layout and then exit. And now you can see that for every apprentice we have a list of all 7 available contacts, related contacts. So let's clean this up a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is click on our portal and make sure that we do not have any kind of a line or a border. That's just doesn't look good. And I'm using the shortcut key Control Save or Command Save on the Mac. And let's exit the layout. Now we're getting closer, except for we got a lot of white space here. And let's go ahead then and click on this portal. And what you want to do on this portal is you want to pull up your Object Inspector. And the inspector has this ability under the Position tab with the portal selected to specify that you want to remove blank space by sliding up based on all the above objects. And then also, so that will slide up this portal to enclose or reduce that blank white space. And also will enclose our body part, and so you can select also resize or enclose the part that it's in. And I'm going to go ahead and save that, and let's go ahead then and exit the layout. And you will see the white space is still there because it shows that in browse mode, but when you actually go to print and we click into preview mode, you can see that it took care of all the white spot. Next thing I'm going to do is kind of reduce the portal row, and you can actually reduce this row to go up into the field, and that gives you a little bit of a white space at the bottom, which we might want for viewing the seeing a space between apprentices. Now when I go into preview mode, I've got a nice gap here that makes it easier to see which apprentice is which. And it shows all their contact information. And just to validate that, let's go ahead and go back to the General tab. And let's go ahead and add another phone number for this particular apprentice. And then click on our reports again in our phone list report. And here you'll see that the phone I just added is here. So this person now has 2 phone numbers, and most apprentices will have at least 1 or 2 phone numbers. And if we go into the preview mode, you can see that. The problem with the phone list here is that we're seeing all the contact information, so we're getting their emails too, or any other type of contact information other than phone numbers. So what you may want to do is you may want to filter this portal so that it only shows records when the type of contact has phone in it. If we go back into browse mode or preview mode, you can see that really what you're after are the records that have phone in the type. And you can easily do that. Of course, if you know how to do it, it's easy, but that's why I'm showing you. If you double click this portal, there's an option here to filter portal records. And it'll open up this little calculation dialog, and what you can do is you can put some sort of condition, and when it's met, it will show the record to the portal. And we're going to want to basically look at the text inside that type field. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to our functions and go to our text functions, and there's one there that's called pattern count, and it'll count the patterns that match inside the field you're looking for. And the text is the field, so we're going to look inside of the type field, and so we're going to basically say inside of this field look for the pattern phone. So it's going to look in that field, and it's going to try to see how many times the word phone occurs, and it's going to tell us it occurs 0 times or once or whatever. Well, if it occurs more than 0, so if the pattern count of phone is greater than 0, then we want to show that record. So each portal record will be visible when pattern count of phone inside the apprentice's type, contact type, is greater than 0. So now I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back into preview mode, and you can see that all the email addresses are gone, and we have a simple phone list. And it's not just a simple phone list, because it's going to show all the phones, and each row or record in the apprentice is going to resize according to how many phone numbers they have. And after you've done this, of course, you can clean up your information to get it to display the way you want. And it looks like I went up into the header area with my portal, so I only got the first one. And you can, of course, double click the body area to alternate background colors for your rows, and you can also alternate background colors for your portal, but if you get into too much background filtering, sometimes it takes or diminishes away from the quality of the report. And that concludes our lesson on building a phone list. So now anytime you do a find and you want to look at apprentices, let's say, who are greater than 5th term, and get a phone list on all of them, you just click on your new report, go into preview mode, and that's how it'll print.